Hi, Flosstube. I'm here today because I got a grab box from NordicNeedle.com. It's their Broderi Box subscription. I didn't order the whole subscription. I just ordered one box just to see what it was because they had said something about there being silks and metallics in this month's box, and so since I don't have any of those, I thought it would be fun if I just ordered one to see what it was. So this is the Broderi Box, and do an unboxing. And it says, welcome to the 2017 July Zodiac Broderi Box. Smooth and coarse, shiny and matte, elegant and captivating all describe this month's feature of the sign Cancer. The threads mix together in many textures, and the goodie this month is reminiscent of the crab's claw, which helps you nab your target with ease. To learn more about Cancer and what's in this box, view the complimentary pattern and click the members only coupon. And I'm not going to tell you the website because it's only if you ordered the box, because they have like some of their website locked away. If you didn't buy the Broderi box, then you can't have access to it, so I'm not gonna show that. But I got this is, I don't actually know what this is. It's a metallic. Nordic Gold, it says. So I'm not sure if it's the one I keep hearing about is Petite Treasure Braid, but I don't know that this is it because it says Nordic Gold on it. But it is distributed by Rainbow Gallery. So there's some alpaca. It's fuzzy. Also from Rainbow Gallery. This is a YLI Original Silamide, size A. I'm not sure what that is. It's white. It's just a thread, I guess. But yeah. It's a Vineyard Silk, tone on tone, 100% silk. It's light gray and dark gray. It's very pretty. Krennic number 001, very fine braid. So number 4. And it is a very light silver color. Seed beads, number 02022. The glass seed beads from Mill Hill. And it kind of looks like there's 2 different colors in it, or maybe my eyes are deceiving me. Kind of looks like there's a dark gray and a light silver. And then there's this, it's a bead nabber, so it picks up your beads when you need to pick them up. This is to adjust bead nabber to your finger size, stretch or squeeze the ring if desired. Use the bead nabber with Lowrand's collection of bead caddy organizers. And that's all that's in the box. So So I hope you enjoyed the unboxing video of the Broderi Box from NordicNeedle.com. I would recommend using that if you want to have like a grab box, because I like all the stuff that came in the box, and it's $29.99 for one box. Otherwise, I think it's like $100 for like the whole year. You get one box every month. You may have noticed the wardrobe change and the hair change. I actually taped that portion of the unboxing yesterday because I received the box yesterday and I was really excited to see what was inside, and I didn't want to have to, I guess, look at all the stuff twice. So I thought I would just shoot that part of the video as I actually unboxed it. So that was the first time I had seen all those items in the video, so that's why there were some awkward pauses and things, because I wasn't sure what a lot of that stuff was, since I'm fairly new to like specialty threads and materials and things like that. So yeah, so this is a new day, and I would like to thank Gem Stitch for her lovely shout out on her most recent video. She mentioned me, and thank you, Gem Stitch, for doing that. You're very sweet. And thank you to everybody who's been watching and subscribed and who's liked my video and who's commented. I really appreciate it. So, we shall get started with the whips, and I think there's another tag on or answer. That's the word. Words. Okay, so this is the oceans pattern by dimensions that I've been working on, and I got really far. Because last time you saw it, I believe I didn't even have the C really done at all. And now I've got the C and the E and half of the A. I started doing parking because I felt like it was taking too long to do it the other way. I don't know. I was like sort of cross-countrying, and it's not like it's hard because I wasn't miscounting or anything, but I just felt like I'm kind of scatterbrained. So like I would go with the blue and like this bluey color, whatever, for an example, I would go like across and then up and then maybe across and then up again. Like there wasn't any set way I was going, which is normally fine, but I feel like it was making my stitches weird, I guess. I don't know. I was just going all over the place and I wasn't getting any satisfaction out of it, basically. So I just started parking and then working my way up, and then it went a lot faster, as you can tell, because I made a huge amount of progress on this. And that. My second whip is this Patrick Bateman I got from Etsy, and I did 2 more blocks going down. So the last time I was up here, so down just 2 more grid blocks. It's going well. I'm enjoying this. I kitted up a project with copy by Designworks. It doesn't actually have an official name, it's just the pattern number, but I think I'm going to call it Coffee Chalkboard. And this is the fabric that came with the kit, and I stitch the edge with my sewing machine to serge it. It's not really serged because I don't have a serger. I just use the sewing machine, one of the sewing machine stitches that allows you to stitch the edges so they won't fray. Yeah, and then I did a floss toss because it came with this white floss, just generic white floss, but as I mentioned in my other video, I feel like I wanted to make it colorful because I like color, so yeah, I kitted it up with others. Okay, so for the kitting up that I did for the coffee chalkboard, I decided to use the variegated threads that I got from the DMC that I showed you last video. Have notes here. For the border, so like the border, I'm going to use this 93 cornflower blue. For the lights, or I call them lights, but it's these little X's under the border. I was going to use 107. It's the red and light pink. It's called Carnation. I actually found the real names of the thread. For this coffee, this large coffee, I'm going to do in 105. For the fresh brewed, both of these, I'm going to use CMC 67. It's the light blue and it's called baby blue. It's the lightest blue that was in the pack. And then for where it says cappuccino and latte, I'm going to use 106, which is coral. For where it says cream, milk, and sugar, I'm going to use 125, which is seafoam green. And then where it says dark roast here, I'm going to use 121, which is Delft blue. I've never heard that word before, DELFT blue. For this mocha and vanilla, I was going to use 92, which is avocado. Espresso, this big word in the middle, espresso, I was going to use 52. Maybe not, but anyway, it's purple and light purple. It's violet, basically. And then for the coffee cup, I was going to use right here with the heart in it. That whole thing will be 48. Baby pink. Sorry, my finger was all over that. And then I decided for this little sign in between cappuccino and latte, this little diamond thing, I was going to go ahead and use 51 just to make it interesting. And then everything else, like the line and some of the lines down here and these little swirly things, I was just going to use the white that came with it so that it would be like a trim color. So that's my plan for those, this pattern. Okay, so now we're on to the tag. And the tag I chose to do this time is the stitching style tag. It's by Pam Reed of Pam's Crafty Corner. And number one is, what is your favorite fabric? And it's probably not going to be evidenced by what I'm actually stitching on, but I like Lugana. I have a few pieces of Lugana, 2 pieces. One is for my Heaven and Earth design that I haven't bought all the floss for yet, so yeah, I haven't started it. And the other is it's the Wizard of Oz pattern. I didn't show it because I didn't actually make any progress since last time on it. But yeah, it's not very obvious by my actions what my favorite fabric is, but it's Lugana. I haven't actually had a lot of experience with different fabrics. I've only used Ada and Lugana, and I like Lugana better, but yeah, like if I order fabric, I'll order Lugana. But I think the reason is I've been doing kits for my whips, and so I just use the fabric that comes with it because I do. I don't know. Number 2 is hoop or frame, and I use a hoop from Loops and Threads. I got it at Michael's. I got like a multi-pack, so they're all different sizes, and they're like the really bright neon colored ones. So, do you use a stand or do you just hold your frame? And I just hold my stuff. I was thinking of getting a Q-snap for my Heaven and Earth design, which is also why I haven't started it yet, because I haven't done that either. So, but I thought the Q-snap might be better for the bigger pieces of fabric, because the Heaven and Earth design is on a fat quarter, I believe. So there's going to be a lot more fabric, and I don't know that I want to use a hoop for that, because there's just going to be fabric everywhere. So I think I'm just going to get a Q-snap, but I think I'll still just hold it. I don't really have a good place for a stand, and like if I'm not stitching, I don't have a place to like store like a huge stand, so I think I'll just not do that. Number 4 is, what is your favorite time to stitch? And my answer to that is kind of sporadic. Like throughout the day, I kind of just stitch whenever I can, because with the job I have, it's like I'll be busy for a few days or a few months, and then I won't be busy for like a month or 2. So I kind of just squeeze stitching in whenever I can. So, yeah, I don't really, like, I don't mind if it's the morning or if it's the afternoon or the night. It's not like I'll be like, oh, it's the morning, I don't feel like stitching. Like, I think I always feel like stitching. So, but my longest periods of time that I have to stitch are either from 12:30 to 2 at night, or from like 9 to 12 in the morning. So, question number 5 is, do you use a printed paper copy of your chart or digital? And my answer to that is, if it's black and white on the chart, like I can color it in with colored pencils, then I'll use a printed paper copy. And if it's like a pattern that's got the colors filled in, then I'll use a digital, because then I can still mark it off with the highlighting thing that the digital stuff has, and it'll cover over and it'll make sure that I know where I am, because it's not easy to color over something that's already been colored in. So printing out a colored copy is not really helpful to me. And then I could print it in black and white, but the boxes would still be gray, and then it would make it harder to see the symbols. So I just don't even deal with that, and I just use a digital pattern. Are you a floss licker is number 6, and no, I'm not. I use a needle threader. 7 is, do you hoard or buy supplies as needed? I think it's sort of a half and half. I bought the DMC variegated floss because I thought it was pretty, so I kind of hoarded that. But for the Heaven and Earth design, I have the fabric, but I don't have the thread, so that's an example of buying supplies as needed. And when I found the Patrick Bateman pattern, I went and only got the floss for the pattern and nothing else. So I think I do a mix of both of those things. Number 8 is, what is your favorite floss? And of the two that I've used, which are the Dimensions floss and the DMC floss, I greatly prefer the DMC floss. And after finding the variegated DMC, I think that's my favorite because I like lots of different colors, and so the variegation is really exciting to me. Number 9, are you a serial starter or do you have a whip at a time? I don't have a whole lot of patterns right now. I only have like 4 or 5, and I've only started 2 or 3, so I guess I don't really know the answer to that question. I do work on more than one whip at a time, so maybe I'm a serial starter, but I'm not like, I need to start a pattern right now. I can't, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how to answer that. The coffee chalkboard I showed you is a new start, so I guess we'll go with serial starter. Number 10, do you have more FFOs or UFOs? I have an equal ratio of both. I have 1 FFO and 1 UFO. Do you watch TV while stitching? I do. I watch either Flosstube or I'll watch a show like a primetime show if I'm not like needing to pay super close attention to it, because it's on for background noise more than me like watching the show. If I actually really like the show, like if it's my favorite show or something, then I won't stitch while watching it. But yes, the TV is on while I'm stitching. Do you mostly stitch alone or do you get together with someone to stitch? And I stitch alone because I don't mind being alone, I guess. I also don't know anybody else who cross stitches, so there's that too. Do you like to experiment and alter things with your charts, or do you stitch everything just as written? I would say it depends on the pattern, because when there's a pattern like this where it's a photograph or like a Heaven and Earth design where it's a full coverage and it's a piece of artwork, I usually will not mess with the colors because I feel like if I do, then the picture won't look right when I'm done. But with something like this ocean one, that's a little more abstract. Like, it didn't matter what color the letters were, because it's still going to say ocean even if the letters are blue or if the letters are pink or if the letters are, yellow. It doesn't matter. So I will change things if I don't feel that it'll compromise the finished project. Number 14 is, do you bobbinate your floss or not? And the answer is yes. Number 15, do you start a project in the middle of your fabric or at the corner? And I start in the middle for everything, even small, large, whatever. I just start in the middle. Do you have a whip rotation? I had to look up what rotation meant in the cross stitch world, just because like I get the idea where it's like you have 1 week and you work on a whip or something like that, but I didn't know whether the way I did it counted as a rotation or not, so that's why I looked it up. But I found on stitchybox.com that it says there's a couple of different types of rotations, and the two that fit me the most were screaming rotation and goal-based rotation. So screaming rotation was basically what I did, where it's like I just worked on whatever I felt like working on. I don't have a plan or like a set schedule, which is why I didn't know if I had a rotation, because I don't schedule things. But I guess the answer is yes, I do. I have a screaming rotation. I work on whatever project is currently calling to me. But then I also do the goal-based, where it's like, for like the Patrick Bateman one, for example, I was like, I want to finish 2 more grids before I do another video. So, like, I'll pick the project based on what's calling to me, and then I will figure out like a goal to get to before I move on to something else. 17 is, do you use a timekeeper to keep track of how long it takes you to complete a project? And my answer is no, I don't use a timekeeper, but I will write the date that I started the project on like the pattern, or on the ocean one, I have it written on the pattern under like the color key or whatever it's called. I don't know. The thing that tells you what color to use. And the Patrick Bateman one, I wrote the date on the like symbol in DMC color page. So I'll write when I started it, and then I'll write when I finished it, whenever I finish it. 18 is, do you use the parking technique? And yeah, I do. Number 19 is, do you keep your orts? You do keep them in this box. It's a little plastic box. And once this box gets full, though, I will throw the threads away. But I do like to see the progression of them as they fill up the box. But I won't keep them like long term. But for now, I do keep them in here until it gets full. Do you like to have a snack or drink while stitching is the last question. And my answer is I like to drink while stitching. I find that it's less, because I don't actually have to touch the liquid when I drink it, then my hands don't get as dirty. Like if I was eating some chips or something, then I don't want to have to touch my fabric after touching something with crumbs on it, because I do wash my hands before I stitch and before I touch my fabric. Even before I do this video, I'll wash my hands so that I can handle the fabric and show you guys without worrying that it's going to be dirty. And yeah, so usually I'll drink in the morning I'll have coffee and then I'll stitch, and at night usually it'll be either a glass of wine or a malt beverage with some alcohol in it, or a mixed drink, or in the winter time sometimes I'll have hot chocolate or another cup of coffee just for something warm. But yeah, I like having something to drink while I'm stitching. That's the end of the tag, so I will see you guys in the next video, and thanks again for watching, subscribing, commenting, and liking. I really appreciate it, and I hope you enjoyed this video, so I'll see you guys later.